right, so War 10, we have the usual Apocalypse, CGER, and Hercules ban. All right, so Boss Island, Null, we've got Fury, Moleman, and Wiccan. Gallon back there, you have Symbiote, Supreme, and Hood. Spam there, Fury, Ghost, Corvus, Immortal Abomination, Omega Red, and Hulkling, even Nimrod. Penny Parker over here, Hulkling, probably even Immortal Abomination. Sasquatch, you've got S99 and Archangel. Titania, you have Anti-Venom. Ghost, you have Captain Marvel movie. And then Gore, you have Symbiote Supreme, Hood, Rintraw. Plenty of options there. 1 through 3 on the way out. Hyperion, you have S99, you have Symbiote Supreme. And then Path 1, Wong, you have S99, Titania, Ant-Man. And then for Bishop, you can go with Warlock, or you can go with S99. It should be pretty fine, depending on SIG. Void is an option as well. Path 2, Valkyrie. You have plenty of options there, but if you want to just go with Storm or Storm Pyramid X, those are options. And then you could use those storms for Overseer, or you can go with a Mole Man or Fury or anyone really for Overseer, just with an Odin pre-fight. And then Path 3, you've got Claire and Symbiote Supreme for Scroll. And then for Angela, you can go with Symbiote Supreme as well. Again, an Odin pre-fight. Can also go with a shock immune. So I'm trying to think of one at the moment. You could just probably use Claire there as well. 4 through 6 on the way out, Craven, you've got Kitty Pryde, Omega Red. Mordo on the way in, you've got Archangel and Warlock. Even possibly Null. Path 4 there, Nimrod or Omega Sentinel for Domino. And then for Surfer, you can go with Shang-Chi, Fury, Mole Man. Those are all great options. And then Path 5, Kitty Pryde, Omega Sentinel, Silver Centurion or Nimrod. And then for Nova, you've got Magneto and Tigra. And then Path 6 here, I would probably go with any mutant really for Elsa, just in case she happens to have suicides. So any of your storms, Kitty Pryde, those are options. And then for Apocalypse, go with Nimrod or War Machine. 7 through 9 on the way out, Herc, Symbiote Supreme, Hood, Rintraw. And then on the way in, Mojo, I would go with Ghost. You can probably also use Thing or Ant-Man. Actually back off on Ant-Man because of all the debuffs. Path 7, Havoc. You've got Nimrod, you have Warlock, and then for Quicksilver, you have Fury and Ghost. For King Groot, you have Symbiote Supreme, Hood, Rintraw. And then for Path 9, either Omega Sentinel or Nimrod for Weapon X, and then Ghost for Doom or Thing. 1 through 3, looking back in section 2 on the way in, Omega Sentinel, you have Gallon and Null. Thing, you have Black Cat and Falcon, can even use Tigra. Arcus, you have Captain Marvel movie, along with Shang-Chi with a white Magneto pre-fight. 1 through 3 in section 1 on the way out, Mephisto, you have S99 and Warlock. Path 1 there, the whole thing can be taken with S99, and you can also take Immortal Hulk with Warlock, and then use like Mr. Negative or Titania for Mangog. Korg, either of the storms, Omega Red, White Magneto, all options. And then Path 3 here, Gallon or Hulkling for that Nimrod or even Nebula. And then Human Torch for Longshot. You could even use Kitty Pryde. Okay, and then 4 through 6 on the way out, Chavez, you've got Human Torch, Kitty Pryde, and Mr. Negative. Void there on Path 4, Shang-Chi, Mole Man, Fury. Path 5, Hulkling, you've got Hood or Claire. And then for Scorpion, you can use a Poison Immune or Shang-Chi Fury, all options. And then path 6 there, Human Torch, Archangel, good options for Tigra on top of the regular science options like S99 or Mr. Negative. 7 through 9 on the way out, Fury, you have CMM, you have Kitty Pryde, and then and you could use Ghost as well. And then path 7, Cersei, kind of tough there. You can get away with Hood and maybe even Rintraw. And then for Kingpin, you have Archangel or Omega Red. Path 8 there, Rintraw, S99, Titania, Mr. Negative, all options. And then out here, path 9 for Terrax, you can get away with Shang-Chi. You could also use Captain Marvel movie or Anti-Venom. And then for Maw, Human Torch, probably your best option. You could possibly use Omega Sentinel as well. That does it for defense. Let's take a look at attack. All right, so War 10, we had HC Kingpin. Today I will be taking in Omega Sentinel, Shang-Chi, and Claire. I have Path 5 in Section 1 and Path 4 in Section 2. And I actually have a conduit fight that I decided to wait for the boss to come down just because I'm not holding anyone up. So Hulkling here, Node 2, automatic Claire send has been my assigned fight for most of the season. Anytime it's been here, game plan PS1, Mystic power back boosts. We're going to switch into Plagued, Curse, and then immediately throw Special 2. That's going to prevent him from gaining buffs, us gaining a ton of charges and power. He's going to go debuff immune. We're going to bait out a special attack. If we're not all the way at 20 charges, we're going to heavy push ourselves to Special 3 like we did there. And with the big Fury, we're going to use the Special 3 and take off chunks of health. He is going to regen a good bit of that back. It's okay. We're immediately at Special 2. He only has a couple buffs. Mystic Dispersion is not going to push us too far. So we bait out a special attack while we wait for him to get his protection back so that we can place the debuff, buff immunity debuff, and then we just recycle that entire process over and over again until Hulkling is gone. So just some key things to point out. As I've mentioned, I wait for that protection to come back and for the debuff immunity to fall before I drop the Special 2. I use the time that takes to bait out special attacks, and in this scenario we didn't have a special attack to bait out, so I actually waited until that protection went on, and then we use the Special 2 and we get pushed to Special 3 pretty much immediately. And here I decide I'm going to have to combo or do a short combo real quick to push myself to Special 3 with max charges. And you see how close he gets, see how long it takes for me to get him to throw a special attack and then get in the right position node-wise to throw this Special 2, and that's how much health he regained from that. And then he's still going to regain some, and then this Special 3 will finish it, making sure I actually land it perfectly, and this will conclude the fight. So pretty successful at taking it. Yeah, that's about it. Scorpion here, game plan was I'm going to place the slow, I'm going to stun Wushu, I'm going to heavy to reset my Wushu, but also to drop ebb and flow. And then in that time, I'm going to place another slow, and I'm going to try and work out Wushu to where I push him to Special 2. And I think I waited till after that to do a heavy reset, because I'll bait out a Special 2, wait for me to set myself up for a parry stun, and then the next heavy reset should remove it. But now that I'm playing it back out in my head, I might have heavied 3 times before finally throwing this Special 2. So there's the first one, trying to re-parry off my block so he doesn't throw Special 1 so that we don't have to deal with cleanse. But I am prepared to throw cleanse. Yep, there's that second heavy. So he's going to get protection back while we bait this Special 2. That's fine. I'm just going to parry heavy him here. Oh, I'm going to play slow. Then I'm going to parry heavy him. Now I'm going to drop this Special 2 after I get a parry off, re-parry, and down he goes. Really easy. So I actually was not worried about cleanse. Cleanse was kind of a backup if he threw a Special 1. So we move on, path 4, Domino here. I don't have a Nimrod, or I didn't at this point in time. So we're using Omega Sentinel. It's perfectly fine with her too. But yeah, I mean, name of the game is pay attention when she's lucky and avoid getting comboed after she evades. There are only going to be 2 debuffs as long as you don't get hit. And it's just mow her down. So I'm being very mindful of the lucky. I will start to place debuffs. I will start to heavy to pause. I don't think I finish out combos to pause. And I'm just planning on brute forcing her down. And then when I have an opportunity where she's not lucky and I have the special 2, I'm going to go ahead and drop it. So if she's lucky here, I'm not going to drop it. I'm going to wait for this to expire. I'm going to place a debuff, I think. Nope. Just go right into the special 2. And then I'm going to let those plasmas just kind of mow her down. She's not lucky here, so I decide to heavy to pause everything. That also put me into heal block, so now I can go ahead and prevent her from healing. There we go. Heavy, she's not lucky. Just letting her melt away from the plasma. Lucky, backing off. And then here I think I'm going to heavy. And then that will tick her away along with comboing her. So pretty easy. Pretty easy. Move on, Surfer here. You guys have seen me take this with the global on, but the global is off here, so it just means I don't have to wait after a special 2, which means I could have used a skill power back boost. Just didn't feel like it. Should be a pretty easy fight. So it's really just cleanse Wushu, stun Wushu, heavy reset. If we have the opportunity to heavy reset without having to stun Wushu, that's fine. If we have the opportunity to place more Wushu so we can make special 2 bigger, that's fine too. The real important thing is that we just don't get hit by either a special 1 or a special 2, and that we've got Surfer's animations down enough to make sure we don't get smacked when he's unblockable. So always remembering that we can go unblockable after a cleanse. We also have the stun through the block if we need to land an easy heavy reset without worrying about needing to parry. So smooth fight, easy fight, not a problem for Shang-Chi. And down goes Surfer. So that was the end of my war, super short. Our battle group actually lost to theirs 4-5. There was a little extra in there. And then we ended up losing this war 6-12. So deaths aside, you see that we had 1 fight left on the map. We actually missed a path in section 1 and had 2 nodes on it. So we actually lost by 18-6. But it is what it is. We're still in the top 20, looking like we just have to win out or maybe even win 1 war to finish our season in Masters. No stress, just taking care of business or doing what we can. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, give it a like, and I will catch you guys at the next war.